Yes? We cannot hear anything. So, good morning, New York.
Good morning, Lucia. Good morning, Andrea. This is Dan Thomas and Louie side. We're here in the SDG Media Zone of the United Nations on day 3 of the SDG Media Zone. We've had a really exciting couple of days so far. We're to be talking live with you in here. You're at the All for the Green event leading up to the G7 Environment Ministers meeting. That's really exciting. We'd like you to talk about that in a minute. I'm honoured to be joined by Louie, the director of Racing Extinction, the film which I believe was shown last night in the big square in Bologna. But before we talk to Louie and before we hear from you here about what's happening in Bologna, I'd like to just mention some of the other highlights coming up here in the SDG Media Zone later. We have the President of the House getting on the stage in a couple of hours, Tommy Roman-Gasau, Cody Simpson, the musician and ocean advocate for UNDP. He's going to be in here. We've got some artists from the exhibitions who've come all the way from Northern Australia, the Northern Territories, to talk about some of the art that they've got on display. And Sylvia Earle will be wrapping up our program later today. But first, over to you, Lucia. You're the founder of Connect for Climate. I know you're working with the Italian Ministry of Environment, Land and Sea, also the city of Bologna. But tell us about what's happening in Bologna.
What's happening here is, for the very first time, I think, a G8 environment has been accompanied by a full week of events that talk about climate change and the environment from a fairly different perspective. It's seen as an opportunity, it's seen as clean energy, it's seen from academia, civil society, not last the connection with the UN. And Bologna, it is actually, I would say, the capital of the environment these days. Everything is green. But I really would like to introduce Andrea Braccialarghe, the CEO of Building Energy North America, because he made possible something amazing last night. We had the largest screen in Europe, outdoor, and we had the Louie Psihoyos movie last night, and more than 2,000 people saw the whole movie, and it was powered by the sun. And I know that it's what the director really wanted, not only the message, but walk the walk and have clean energy to display the powerful message to the world. And I must say, it was loved by the city and by everybody. So thank you, Louie, and thank you, Andrea. It's powerful to have clean energy and powerful messages. It does make all the difference in the world.
That's terrific. Louie, why don't you tell us what's your reaction to having your film played with the power of the sun?
Yeah, well, the message of Lucia is that the alternatives to fossil fuels are all upgrades. At my own house and business, where I used to work out of Colorado, I just moved recently, we were completely powered by the sun. We had buying electric tools between homes, usually between home and work, for about $1,000 a month. Those went away, and instead of getting a bill, I got checks every month from the electric company. And I had 3 electric cars. And one of them had a license plate that said AUS. It stood for Vehicle Using Sun. It was the opposite of an SUV. So it's we get these messages out that it's the way forward. People think, oh, you know, like, you know, wear sweaters in the winter in your house, and you know, you're going to be a detriment to get electric cars. What we're finding out is that those are all affairs. In racing extinction, Tesla that we outfitted to like a James Bond car. Well, we took a really nice vehicle and we made it into, you know, we stripped the paint off, we did a whole bunch of crazy stuff to it to make it sort of a electroluminescent paint job. First, we changed the color of the car with the flick of a button. had a 15,000 lumen projector that comes out of the back so you can project onto skyscrapers. Had a FLIR camera, a forward-looking infrared camera that comes out the front where the engine would normally be on the internal combustion car. And you can see greenhouse gases, you can project those in real time onto buildings. When we drove that car off the lot at Tesla, the race car driver that drives it for us, or our getaway driver, she turned to me and said, every other car on the road just became a relic. So I mean, I think that's what we're finding is that instead of being scared of the future, we should be embracing it.
Yeah, that's great. Lucia, how did the film go down in Bologna last night?
Oh, we had a special screening last night. It was we had the ending was unique for the Italian audience. Can you tell about that a little bit? Because you were instrumental in helping with that, Lucia. And talk about the Vatican.
Last night was a little bit even emotional to see some images, and there was a big gift from Louie to the city, showing all the images from our project at the opening of the Jubilee. And actually, Louis' message that we read got a huge applause, and I think that it shows the power of partnership, and that if we all work towards the same objective from different standpoints, we can actually make it happen. And it was absolutely amazing last night, and I couldn't feel more proud of Louie and of our sponsor, because how you do it and what you do it are both really important. We want the right messages, but we want it done in the right way, and using renewable energy send a huge message to the city. You can do the same, you can just do it better, and it is an opportunity. Can I give the word now to the CEO of Building Energy? It's amazing because what they do is they are born green, they do the right thing, and in their mission statement is to benefit local community with their work. Notably, they are plant in Iowa?
In Iowa, yes.
Where many, many American people work on green energy, and in South Africa, and I think it was very, very generous of you to give this gift to artists, to the city, to the G7, and to the SDG to amplify a message and to do the right thing.
Sure. And,
so, yeah, Andrea, tell us about that.
I cannot hear Dan.
Sure, sure. And so first of all, good morning, New York, and thank you for Connect for Climate and Ocean Conferences to have Building Energy at this event. It's an honor for Building Energy to solarize the event here in Bologna and in the beautiful Piazza Maggiore here outside. It has been really a privilege to be here as a company, but also as a company that is very, very close to what is happening in the world. And what is happening in the world is very clear to me and to everybody in Building Energy. We are fully focused to change the world is powered. We are fully focused to change the life of the people. Recently, we changed also our mission statement. The new mission statement for Building Energy is good energy for a good life. So energy is, we consider energy a commodities, right? We go back home and we plug our devices, the telephone, the laptops, TV to watch our preferred shows or the final NBAs, whatever. But energy, we need to be very careful of the quality of energy. How does energy come from? How it's been generated? What does energy represent for the life of the people? So that's why we are very, very focused on when we develop our solar plant, wind farms, hydropower plants, or biomass power plants, what is the footprint that we leave to the local communities? How we generate those powers? And very, very recently, we also studied the impact of building energy in the local community. So for example, in Africa, where we developed one of the largest solar plants in the world, we totally included a local community into a trust, so being a shareholders of our plans, so get benefit of also from the financial standpoint, so they can reinvest in local community and local activities, as well as in North America that I represent, and I'm very proud to represent North America, especially nowadays, where we solarize probably 10% of the energy needed for Cornell University. Cornell University is one of the most historical Ivy League college in the US, based in Ithaca in upstate New York. And Building Energy is very proud to energize Cornell University activities and Cornell University studies. So the quality of their energy is improving, and they also pledge to be carbon neutral by 2030. So it's wonderful to see that whatever the policy framework is from a political standpoint, there are a lot of municipality or college, schools, and people that want to really be focused on how the energy has been generated.
Dan?
Absolutely. That's really a message which is very loud and clear that everybody is taking this climate action. They're taking it into their own hands. Now, Louie has to go in a minute. He's got another appointment across the street. So before you go, Louie, I'm just going to ask you for a comment from you about the Ocean Conference. You're here for the Ocean Conference. We're here talking with our SDG Media Zone, who are there with the G7 Environment Ministers meeting. Tell us, how is the Ocean Conference going, do you think? Do you think we're seeing the kinds of commitments that can be a game changer for the ocean and the environment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what we're finding out here, is that the world community is taking oceans seriously. There's these sort of people around the world are deciding how much marine protected areas that they can save by 2025. And what I've seen here is they're ahead of projections already. So people are taking it extremely seriously. And again, as I had to read this last night at the opening of the screening, but even though our president has bowed out of Paris, I think what it's done is galvanized the rest of the country, America, I think the rest of the world, to take it even more seriously. So it's had a backfire effect. Right. I think cities, 1,400 cities, communities have bonded together and said, we're still with you. We're still in Paris. And I think what we're going to find is that this is going to be the best thing that's ever happened to the environmental movement, is to have a leader that's not leading. Right. It's because people are finding themselves that they have to lead.
Right. That's a great message to end on. We'll let you go if you have to leave now. Thank you very much.
Can I, sorry, Daniel, Dan? Can I actually, I have to say something to Louie that will make him happy. The Minister of Environment yesterday said he will bring ocean to the ministry and to the G7, because the ocean is everybody's business, but it is a business they need to take care, and he will bring it up to the agenda. And I think that having this impact on policymaker is exactly the objective and what we really want and what we salute. So I was very, very pleased by the minister when he said that it will be in the agenda of the G7 as one of the main points and something that they need to take action and global policy. So I think that with private sector, advocate, artists, the UN, and all for the green, the train left the station. Renewable and clean is happening, and we are very, very pleased.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Louie. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye, Lucia.
Thank you, Louie. Done.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Lucia, so you've created an SDG Media Zone in Bologna. You're our partners from the World Bank and Connect the Climate. How is your program going there? How are you engaging an audience in a conversation about clean energy, about the ocean, and about the Sustainable Development Goals in general? How's that going?
It's actually, I mean, it's been very, very tiring for all the team, and you know that we have been working together, so don't pretend that you are over there and I'm over here. We know we've been working on this. We had more than 80 conferences here in Bologna that span from circular economy to green technology. We have law enforcement and environment. We have a major discussion going on, and a lot of NGO, civil society, UN. The reality is there are so many conversations going on, and each of them takes into consideration one of the aspects of the SDG, because they talk about how do we do it right. It's not about just climate change or climate action number 13. It's actually how do we do it? Do we take consideration no poverty, zero hunger? It is how it resonates to a global audience and make it very, very, very real and talks to policymakers. So it has been fantastic to work with the SDG, with the ministry, but also with the many, many, many partners here in Bologna and worldwide to resonate from a very important event to a global audience. And I think that all the companies that actually are doing business differently are showing support, because they do believe we can do good business by doing well. Like, you know, Andrea, I think that it's amazing what you're doing.
On that subject, I'd love to ask Andrea Braccialarghe, how do you power our film using the power of the sun?
Yeah, sorry, the audio is not
quite clear.
Not really very clear. So what was the question?
I think it is how did you power the square?
The
accumulator.
Square yes. Yeah. So we essentially have a solar solution for this kind of events. We did something together with Connect for Climate 2 years ago during the Earth Day, where we solarized the Earth Day in 2015 in Washington, D.C. Mall, right in front of the George Washington Memorial. So essentially what we did here, it's a replica. It's the same solution that we tested and delivered 2 years ago. On top of it, on top of this solar plant that is fully connected with the Piazza Maggiore to solarize the events, we also put some electric car available for the people to move around events and go and visit Bologna and visit all the landmarks, the city landmarks, through an efficient way, so the e-mobility, how we call it, through electric cars, so to reduce the impact of the entire event. And this is essentially what we do as a company, try to reduce as much as possible the human being footprint when we do simple things like visit the city, attending events, and doing what we do normally in our daily life.
Thank you very much indeed. You're leading by example, you're showing the way, you're showing our audiences a new way, a way that cares for the environment and people. So we're gonna wrap up now. Lucia and Andrea, thank you so much for coming to us live here in New York, from Bologna to New York, to connect to SDG Media Zone. We're very thrilled to be working with the World Bank, with Connect the Climate, on this connection between what we're doing at the United Nations this week at the Ocean Conference, SDG 14, you can see it in front of me, and also what you're doing with the environment ministers in Bologna. Thank you very much indeed. And I'd like to ask Carolina to turn. You can see we have a small audience here. It's early in the morning still, but later on, we've got a packed program here with Cody Simpson coming, Sylvia and Chamal Crow will be here, Marcus Ericsson, a couple of artists from Australia. We've got Dieter Bormann, the chairman of the Okeanos Foundation for the Sea, and Tommy Remenga Tau from Palau, the president of Palau. So a packed program. Coming up after this in about half an hour, we've got some students from the Harvard School and the 1 Billion Oyster Project who are going to, here they are, thank you very much. I think we can give us a wave, please. They're going to talking about the 1 billion oyster project. They were instrumental in the World Ocean Festival. So if you can just say, please, everyone give them a wave there in Bologna. Thank you very much indeed for being with us, and we'll close it there. Thanks so much. Thank you.
With good, Anna. Thank you so very, very much.